Today, November 16th, 2023, we honor the life and sacrifice of Sergeant Stephen Van Horn. He passed away on this day 26 years ago, valiantly serving the city of Newport Beach. Sergeant Van Horn, without hesitation, responded to a large structure fire in 1987 where he was one of the first on scene. He eventually passed from the inhalation of toxic fumes. When asked about his response to the fire, Sergeant Van Horn responded, "At the time we were doing what was protocol, what was deemed appropriate. If you get a call with a guy with a gun, do you refuse to go to it? You can't. It's not an option." Stephen Van Horn was revered as a courageous officer, selfless leader, and someone who had a great sense of humor.
Steve was my boss in crimes against persons in the 90s. We had to drive to the Robbery Investigators Convention in Las Vegas. This was right after Steve had been diagnosed with the leukemia that killed him. Everyone was feeling down, but Steve maintained his sarcastic sense of humor.
I first met Steve on a Friday in March of 1973. We were part of 6 new officers going to start the LAPD Police Academy the following Monday, and we were sworn in as Newport Beach police officers. At that time, they provided uniforms, but we had to buy our own duty weapon and leather gear. The academy was 5 months long, and one of those months was spent at Newport Beach PD. In July of 1973, we graduated from the academy and started the training program at Newport. Summers then were hectic and crowded. Steve had been a police officer before in Yuma, Arizona, so he had some experience. After 2 weeks of training, they said, "We need officers on the street." So the sergeant told Van Horn during briefing that he would be on his own the next day. I poked fun at Steve all that day, only to find out the next day that I was also going out on my own. Steve was a great police officer. He had a very sharp mind and was very knowledgeable about case law, which was used on various cases he or other officers came upon. Steve's career was cut short by the Hixson Metal fire as he and some firemen walked through the business looking for victims. Steve's spirit and his vast knowledge was missed by all of us.
Sergeant Van Horn was survived by his wife, 6 children, 2 grandchildren, mother, brother, and sister. His unwavering commitment to protecting his fellow citizens, often in the face of danger, is a testament to him and the noble profession he chose. As we remember Stephen Van Horn, we will celebrate the positive impact he made on the city of Newport Beach during his time with us. As we gather to pay our respects and offer condolences to Sergeant Van Horn's family, friends, and colleagues, we ask you to keep them in your thoughts and prayers.